I wasn't mina vele in anything I embark on, even kule Christianity yami, spirit of timidity anginaso. So I'm unfazed kwizinto eziningi ezidinga ukuthi you have to be show loyal or compassion, compassion, yes. Uyashelela uyaslipara sengimgaca entameni akaboni urabhi skin uthelwe ngamafutha siyayebuka, you know, that type of a thing. Uphethe nemali akafuna ukuyiyeka iphakathi kwe-brown bag, i-food outlet yabona lama carry bag wabo a-brown, ufake imali lapha akafuni nokuletha gofu imali akaboni ngalesikhathi wathi yendoda ngapha uphethe negani, wena letha lezi zinto la sengimbambile. And ulangi ukwabona mawuhenge umuntu olangi kuwe wena umfishane uhamba kabuhlungu kanjani. Ndoda hamba man, sekayahamba ngamtshela bambezela kimi siyadabula lapha. Mind you, I'm not really familiar with the place, though we've been going there, but ukumaneuver around asidubulanga phethe ibhamu ngesandla, but le outlet because ila elokishini, I understand, yila ma outlet a franchise nana ila elokishini le out ne ngiphume nayo sidabula hostel. Kunenye hostel edume kakhulu ngapha eThabong bathi G hostel, ila kushiswa khona igold ama illegal miners. Dabula lapho vele mawungangena lapha kwenzeke something akusilula nokuthi nabo khada bangena bacabanga ukuthi mhlawumbe umuntu walapho, yabo. Dabula lapha siphumele ngale kunesiphaza ngoba ngazi ukuthi umuntu uthelwa ngeqanda makashile. That's what I did. Ngenze lokho ngimisa itaxi yalapha ama 4+1, and ayina ground on where to roam or to go. Kunekase eniye ivelcom ebizwa ngeVirginia. Ngatshela lo muntu emfethu ngicela usibeke eVirginia. Unamalini? Ufuna malini? Hawu lo muntu ucharge mina 80 rand or 90 rand. Mina ngijwayela abantu bazocharge 400 rand just for kusuka la kuye-Orlando, whatever the case might be. But ngijwayele lezo zinto. So lo ngishela ngawe 9 Tiger ngifaka isandla esikhwameni yakhe. Lo usagodlela imali le ayiphethe kuleya akafuni kuyeka uphethe igano, akwazi nokuyifihla ngoba phela akabonene umuntu ofaka amazaza lo. Ngapha bamthele ngama oil. Akaboni oil ingene emehlweni, yazi oil eshisa. Like that guy was fortunate ukuthi angabi blind. Then we go siyafika la siyodropa khona gabo cherry yakhe yasevelcom. Mara manje kule town yeVirginia, uyabona, siyahlala siyangena le cherry hlala noma mncane, uyalindwa akufonela intwana yakhe ikhuluma naye efonini, ngilimele wozongilanda. Intwana yakhe isigebengu mara ishaya fraud etop naseLondon seyibalimazile yabuya ngapha umuntu nje waleyo nto leyo, you understand. Le ntwana ishaya imoto from Joburg to Virginia. I was shocked. Azolanda iGrootman yakhe. Conquest RSI imoto yakudala. This guy ke kuyathathwa ngetrans ile ntwana yakhe, mina ngiyashiyeka. And I remember mangishiyeka mina phela impintshi yami ngishiye endlini. Ngibuya kule span nebangishiye eroundini nalo muntu. Ngimfonele bathi hayi bafikile ba right yonke into in ngidla la ngoba la bebafamily nathi kulela dladla ukuthi siyafika nayo ugazi masizoyenza izinto silale la. Magogo uyazi hayi grocery in yazi abo magogo yena uyaspinza umagogo ene kunalo cherry angizilalele la kuna stress. Kuseni hayi ngivuke vele ngeze ebhavini, impahla zami vele seziyabonakala ukuthi oil. EVirginia akunama shop nyana la ngathi ungathenga noma yi-top track suit or something, ya understand, kunespa. Hayi mele ngenze iplan, akuna futhi uzobiza ini ungene. Gone ngiyevelcom mangifika achoose imfethu wethu so ngimkhathele leyo malinyana engimnika yona, ngimtshele ukuthi akwenzeke so athi sobha igawulo asibhayi grocery. Vele siphila kanjalo ngoba ugazi ushadile, sihlale lapho for the time being ngoba ugazi usifuna la ngikhona, nemanje ngeke ngala ugazi ukuthi ashiye ifamily yakhe bese azohlala nami, understand. And mina ngiyayizonda indaba ukuthi umuntu ayazi la ngihlala khona or afike wesa azohlala mara lo bese ngimtrustile sekahlala nami, understand. Then life iyaphusheka Silibele siyabangena but siya eflatini kimi sihlanganise 1 2 3 yila ngikwaze khona uku-afford ukuthenga indlu yaselokishini nendlu eyi-1 yasemakhishini yasevelcom. Anyway yonke iproperty yalaphaya ngalezo inkathi ngingazi manje beyibhayeka easy. Why? Ngaphansi lapha kunama-mine, so iproperty yakhona ayiduri. You understand, especially le Virginia iwest. So I would buy such ngenzeni lama-miners ngiwarentise lapha. Kokunye ngihlale mangikhona mangekho angikho ngiyavanga ngirentisa abantu. Imedi bengiyijola ngaleso sikhathi. Abantu bakubo original babuya le yimi engayenza ukuthi athole ifamily yakhe. Lo muntu bengijola naye ngapha ngihlala naye ngapha. Yimi engayenza ukuthi athole ifamily yakhe ngale Velcom. Ubabakhe original umama akhe angafuni. Yeah, understand. So nje ayingagcina vele sengumuntu othanda lela kasi. Mara mina ngiphila ngapha, mara ngiphila ngale wonke shopping siyenza ngapha. Ene mina nomngani abantu esesigijima nabo manje. Umngani yena lo engijima naye ahamba yokwenza okunye engingakwazi ukuthi okwani. Sibuye endaweni siceda ukubhampa umuntu ophikayo singenele kuqala wabuye waphumela emotweni ene bekumele simshaya ngakavali ithini ngaphakathi. You understand? Hayi mfethu asiyekeleni lesipani sambeni. Umngani uthatha le moto udropa mina off. Ngidropa off kule dladla lami la kuphi lasemshenguville phakathi eThabo. Maqeda ungidropa off. He then goes using this car, the stolen vehicle. He goes uyochecka ngayo, unecherry. Unomfazi, bear in mind, unecherry uyochecka ngayo. Makachecka ngayo, icherry ithi asami sothenga amazambane. A bag of potatoes. And a bag of potatoes gets this guy arrested. Ukhata ozibekela imoto yakhe scrap yard, obona number plate yakhe. Le number plate, bear in mind, eyekhumbi. Le ephakathi kwale private car. Esegqokiswe le private car eyekhumbi. Ukhata ozidrivela elokishini ngeveni yomsebenzi makathi ubona how le private ye same brand ke yeimoto bese iba ne number plate yekhumbi yami kanjani. You understand? Hayi ukhata angayibambi kahle le network azibuze ukuthi kanjani. Hayi ukhata whip. Ay lo instead of abrike ngoba ukhata uyi1 u7 selokishini njengesigebengu. Break angithi uphethe ithuluzi la ngaphakathi. Wawungabreaki wehle kahle ubhokotela uzifakela ama track suit ukhata ngeke abone ukuthi uphethe ithuluzi bese uyakuye mhlawumbe uyakwazi nokwazi mangathi uza ngestory umgwajise akayenzi leyo nto leyo. Uyabaleka uyaphedlela kunomuntu la owuchair ongayenzi crime. Umntwana azathi ngicela ukwehla makayehlisa lo muntu usafuna ukubaleka. Phela mawehlisa umuntu reduce pace mele uqale phansi ngemoto. Ene leyo nizise speedini. Uyigabhe wayigabha ayongena kuphi bambopha still. Ugazi uboshelwa lelo qala. Elinare nelo umuntu we-heist, umuntu wama-house robbery, umuntu wama-business robbery. Uyoboshelwa leyo nto leyo useless. Ukuthi uhamba nge-stolen vehicle, asigqokisa i-number plate yemoto yephoyisa beyili owner ese-scrap yard. Kanjalo I've lost i-companion nomuntu engaziyo ukuthi ish la loyalty buy. Ngiyamhambela ngenza yonke into mara manje sengibhanululile phela ngisana connection lapha yana ngaphandle kwakhe. Labana ngisabafuna ukubabona ngoba lo yamfana ungishiye aroundini engishiya nalo muntu wakhe bese ka loyal kuye. Lo yamangimfoni sekashiswe ngamafutha. Ngiyamtshela ngithi ndoda wena bo loyal kuloya muntu loya ongamazi ohlangane naye lapha ya ngendaba ukuthi sesihamba amavelcom. Khona manje nakho wakushiya aroundini. Walandwa yimi mina lo muntu othi wena angikho grand and wena ungikwazi from kudala. Hayi hade impintshi yami yazi ke igebengu zinayo leyo direct yokuzisola nyana. You understand? But nevertheless out yami iboshiwe. Umfazi wayo usele ene la umfazi wasele khona mind you baya rent. Yindlu yasemakhishini. I have to pay flat I have to pay rent yakagazi, I have to buy igawulo. Ngagcina sengisacrifice ukuthi no yekelani leya rent yenu lapha. Wena zwakala uzohlala nalo muntu wami la eflatini, mina ngizoyolala elokishini. Sekaza nabantwana la, uhlala nalo muntu wami la. Anyway lo muntu bekangana stress, azithandela abantwana yonke into. Bekangana stress, bebazwana anyway. Mabaya le endaweni yimi engibathumayo na inyuku vana nobona ugazi. Ngize ngihlangane nenye. Le ngihlangana nayo ile engizoboshwa nayo kule scene leli elingishizilisa le ngihlalisa 12 years ejele. You understand? Which is this segment manje efika ukuthi ngize ngizotola last year. You understand? So in this scenario, I meet this guy. This guy is my friend. From the word go, ngimita kanjani? Someone says, I know someone who is in Odendal. Ukhuluma ngami. And then bayeza bazongilanda nalawo bantu bayi3 emotweni. Kuthiwa ayikushota umuntu e1 negani, siyabizwe ukuyithabela kunespine. Amachina. Phela mawungezwe ukuthi amachina ingqondo yaspina. You understand? Amachina asambenzi usha amachina. China ingawashaya na kanjani. You understand? Then we go. Neyikorokoro zasevelcom, imoto straight by the way. Hayi vele kuyalala ubusuku bakhona lapha. Ekseni kuvukelwa kule ndawo. Hawu vele amashayina nawo aphethe imali esilingini. Hlala nemali esilingini. Bafaka ibhodi, yabona njengoba kuyisilingi kanje la ku. Bafaka ibhodi lamaplanga ngaphakathi. So kumele uaccesse lento, access neboard. But kubonakala ngesolo tape la kumele ufake icrowbar khona uphule khona. And siseshe sasesha sathola imali ebogwayini, sathola imali eyimili, sathola imali kuphi ngoba it's a store, a supermarket before it is a room. So we had to enter ngoba basitshela imali ayiphumi lapha ihlala lapha bazozibayihambise nenini elisuthu. Kanti aboswayina bahambisa imali ihlala la. Siphulele yanto masiphula donseka iplastic eli1 eshawe ngamasolo TV. Mawuthi uyabamba kanje kusase namanye owathintayo. Uyazama uyaphula iqinile le yanto leyana. Ngithi ndoda lo mbobo lo enough ngena. Hey angene lo yamuntu athi hayi nthotsena diclates kamu. Like literally lo yamuntu uthi yena ubona isilingi eqwa akekho omunye umuntu oyephezulu. Kuyo umuntu oyi1 ukuthi aphushe lezi zinto akwazi ukuziphusha. Mase kuphunya omunye nomunye uphethe isijumbane ezinye zisele phansi. Asikho bhaya. Udrive uzowabizwa emotweni ahleli ngoba imoto yakhe straight. Muni ozothatha ihayo lakho. That's how much money there is around la South Africa ebanjwe abantu balaba buya khona abayibeka dewe bafuna ukuyibeka ngakhona. Sidonse lamasaka zirephe ngesolo tape le light hayi le emnyama le ebonakala itransparent mara siphakathi kwamasaka lawa amahasla i-texture yakhona ile yamahasla donsa ngayo yabona. Iqishiwe imali ngaphakathi. Akuna 100 rand kule amabheg lawo esiphume ngawo, which means yonke imali ephezulu ama 200 rand. Ngoba that's the thing we got cause masifika phansi siqhaqhile. Every patch ine roll engaka. I roll iphethe 20,000. How much is that? Ngobani onesikhathi so counter le mali? Ngoba waze ukuthi kune 20,000, wabona lo aphethe isaka, wabona lo aphethe isaka, wa assume ukuthi everyone una equal amount. Hayi ukuthi setsa ngichelete kamgodleni, omunye lo mungu avayo. Leyo mali kuphela kwemali engazange ngayibala except for the 780,000 that I told you about the cash in transit. Ngifake esikhwameni ngikhuphuke ngibuye ngizofaka esikhwameni ngikhuphuke ngize egoli ngispende mangila wena ubona ngathi le ishaya everyday kanti hayi angithengi imoto ngithulile ngisitshela ukuthi ngitiming mara ngiyayidla angithengi iproperty ngakha nje lapha ama-room lapha kugriza lami ama-roomnyana wami ayi-3 ngizitshela ukuthi hayi yazi ngisuka la ngiyopenda le ngofaka ngofurniture indlu ngithola indlu eClayville. That's the only thing engeke ngayithola ngoba kwaba lula ukuthi ngihlanganise. I understand. Thola indlu eClayville siya-extenda kuba neroomnyana ngapha ngifaka umuntu ukuthi masihambile kube nomuntu orentayo ohlala lapha and unekari igarage vele ihlala ivuliwe. I understand. The guy is Nigerian marushada umuntu wangayini. So basicela ukuthi bacela ukuhayara idladla lonke. Hayi kunandaba balirente lonke. Asengihamba ke. Sengiyi-tycoon. That's how I feel ukuthi hayi manje sengihlanganisile. So imali usitshela ukuthi you are living the life you have arrived, but sooner or later mawuthi mara benginebheke engaka akusana mali or kusela amarola amancane phela mase iba incane imali ngathi ulunywa amagundwane la ufaka khona isandla ngathi ayakuluma ngoba ubona sengiyadiphi kanje la mara bengifaka nje isandla la eduze ngithatha imali ngathi udliwa amagundwane kanti hayi wena udla imali njengamagundwane. The way we keep ngakhona, the way we spend ngakhona akunanto ekuthiwa yiproblem. Olethu lami nokuthi kuphi ngithi ngikhona kwenze njani hayi bengisayobhadala amasoso sobabhadalile yini hayi ibank account yakho ithini ngebank yokufakela imali ngizobabhadala okay vumbu olethu libona nge20,000. I understand. Angikhulumi ngomama ngikhuluma ngogogo because that's my mother. I understand. Imali siyayispenda naloya muntu but ngoba igriza the only thing esibhekile ukuthi hayi ngoMarch sizoyera. Why wouldn't I went to Harrismith ngabuilda bengeke kuze kufike ukuthi ngiyoyenza namanye ama-crime. I-out yami le ihlale and these are the final stages zokuthi nami sekusondele ukuthi ngizoboshwa. Inhlanhla yakhona hayi eyabulala iningi and lo muntu engimtholile omusha yena ke wazogeleza ngapha ePitori higher education. I think it was Medunsa or what. I just can't remember. Pretoria Tech or angazi yipi institution but uke was so uyazi you understand njengomuntu student nyana yazi ama student ayaspeed abanokuya kubayojiva uyazi man kwajola nomntwana waseSoweto wayenzani and ushizi lo yana umntwana ka mistress ba drive basasebancane ube nekara wayenzani ugangagangile ayi manje yabona inclick yami nalo yamuntu yile yana ye hand and glove kulezi zinto lezi. Angikhulumi manginalo muntu sizoxoxa nani inkunzi angikhulumi ukuthi wena mangingena phambili ngicela usale la uzokwazi ukuba i-backup yami. Angikhulumi ukuthi ungangishiya around we just click like that. Mangingena ngiye ku cash office angena nami sekakhanda umuntu ozosibackupa lapho or mina sengikhanda umuntu like we are wired to think alike. So njengoba ngithi addiction sekuba mnandi ukuthi asihlali singananyongo asihlali singayenzi something every day. Ngelinye ilanga benginalo muntu or bekuyilo munye oqala hayi benginalo muntu lo sikwenye outlet sizothenga yabo sipaka ikara le kara le igqoko number plate le number plate esikisiwe yagqokiswa yona umnikazi nanga upaka la eduze kwayo uthe makathi bafethu ari ingathi hayi revive police station lo buthisa why ari okay kena koloyi ngangena ekoloyini uthe mangena ekoloyi akashaya reverse mina reverse ngemoto reverse ngeenyawo ngashaya reverse ngathi tap jump in strat ngithi have sec lo ngamshiya la akanti uyachoose nawe ayibona ingozi sesiyampampa sesibizana ngama-flex sesaba pina athi hayi kene mo khona lichero mo ke mtsibangi siyangena lapha siyakhonja na ikari sele lapha ya selikhaphi ungazolandela nemiduva umnikazi we number plate nangu useka la ama-incident amaningi have occurred kwi-round. Just that when we narrate, you can skip and omit and forget other things. But there was a point la ngike ngakonfronta ingam la mina ngigqoke iwash layo. Ngikonfronta le Mandela Square ngihleli kulama restaurant alapha outside kulama fountains. Yangitshela leli wash lami. Yangibamba ngesandla. You understand? So ngalezo sikhathi mfethu angina choice. Mele ngime. Akhulume nami angiqove. Leso story leso ngizokunarratela sona nginini. But yapariyana sagcina siyabantu abazwanayo because utsotsi. Mangithi kunale ngamla le yase beyibhaya imoto komunye umuntu sagcina sihlangana naye. Ngizohlangana naye kuleyo incident ukuthi mase ngishaya imoto sengihlangana nale ngamla le ukuthi sahlangana kudala. Size si-remindane ukuthi hey umuntu so hey saba ama-friends. Angazi net naye waphelela. But le yapari bethatha imoto ngayi mayizishipa yona zithi Maputo zingena zonke ngeMozambique. Bese ziyale eportini eSeaport. Wazi lo muntu une dealership lo ngokutshela ngayo. And he can sell cars abroad, he can sell cars everywhere la kule continent esihlala kuyo. When ukuhlangana kwami naye kuze ngimazi kwaba ile incident wangiyeka wathatha iwash lakhe. And angayenzi next wathi avayi. Izinto enazithatha lezi ezinye umfazi wami le jewelry wayithatha unayo. Imoto yami ngayithola kuphi besithatha iBantam ngikhumbula kahle kulela dlala besithatha iBantam. Yazi lento engikupaintela yona into yakudala before these scenes, but now we want to fast forward this thing to le part. This guy engimmeetayo bra wami siza la eJozi senza icrime siyaphumelela. Sithatha abantu la eJozi sihambe nabo siyokwenza icrime emavelcom siyaphumelela. Beka senza so. Siyaqasha siyabiza kwabona mani ba relevant ecrimeini kufona ama last number wala eSoweto. Sengibona ukuthi saniyabona la ngiphethe out sharp and manje siya understandana. Communication wise iclick energy yonke le yanto you understand ama dreams are aligned. Lo muntu uthenga i2 ezi2 uthenga imoto nami ngiya-improve like akekho umuntu obheka i-agenda yokuthi ubani ini siyazwana siyafurustana siyimpintshi nokuze ngimlethe ngapha emjipa vami mina into engayenza yini A1 masiyigebengu ngakise edladleni. Why? I'm bringing you where I stay so that mangisele around here when uyedladleni uyobatshela ukuthi ngisele and ungathi ngifile uthi hayi bekudutshulwana kuphi uxolana usele so ngathi uboshiwe mara ubatshele the exact place ngoba mawuzothi ufile bangablame wena. You understand? Or ungabulalisa umagogo wami ngeheart attack mara indaba yokuboshwa uyazi ukuthi ngiyaboshwa. So you have to go and tell endlini ngoba ila ngithembele khona. Anginamngane anginanix except for wena. So mawungibalekele nawe or mawushisa nawe uzongipesuka kanjani ngoba uyashisa. You understand? So imele wazi ukuthi mawuyedladleni uyele ukwazi nje ukuthi mayengalala le nje aroundini mele ngiye lapha yana kubo ngobatshela. You understand? So fast forward mina nale out siphila kamnandi nala eGauteng uyeza ufika uthola indawo yayiqasha uhlala khona. Ushutheka Gauteng unokuhamba nabanye abantu bala yila bese sixabana khona ukuthi ish lo muntu uhamba nabantu bala. And then kuza le element yokunokhana ne uza nabanye abantu ngiphila naye siye endaweni siyokwenza idoti masifika na into yaphuma into esifika kuqala ekhashini C2 mawuchifta uyale yena ufuna ukutsupela imali nalabanye abantu betray wena umuntu omlethe ngapha kanjani abantu na 5 days ubazi so uhamba nabo ugcwala nabo yonke ilokishi and ulethwe yimi la and mina ngiloyal kuwe ngoba ngibona i-character yakho sharp usuta la ngile nginayo lo muntu une-purpose siyahlanganisa umntwana ka-mistress izinto zakhe zihamba kahle ku-easy lo singathola izinto eziningi ama-access amaningi ngoba labantu baleya life ngada uhlala kule ndawo thina esicabanga ukuthi la kuhlala ama-government employees uyabona mos ngathi semi-suburb khona la elokishini ngelingo yakudala sithi kusema-new house ngoba besijwayele ukuhlala ema-RDP kube nama-new house you understand. So umuntu ohlala kulezo ndawo ezinjalo uyabona ukuthi ala ngiphethe u-cheese boy yonke into iyahlangana wonke umuntu right you understand. Fast forward kule mpilonyana esiyiphila la eJozi kuvela iy'pani ey'nkulu siyahlanganisa siyaphuma ama-casino ama-bank ama-cash in transit yini nani kuyahlangana kwenye i-big span abantu abayi-19 omunye nomunye wathola 780 contant uphuma nayo ukuthi uyaphi nayo indaba yakho le. Yeah. So la u-elevate standard ngaso sonke isikhathi. Ngaleso sikhathi impintshi yami iboshiwe engiyaziyo ukuthi umuntu beka understand ukuthi sisebenzisa iphi system mara loyana umuntu wekrag ufuna ukulwa manje ufuna ukudubula manje uyababona labo bantunyana banjalo but uboshiwe and sebamshaya nge-20 years imprisonment. Mina ngaleso sikhathi ayikho into engizoyenza fanele ngiqale phansi ngaqala phansi ngazi elevator until kule level ukuthi ngihlangane noGazi. uGazi senza izinto mina naye hayi kancane. Ngelinye ilanga si right man ilevi yazenzakalela imoto zikhona indlu nayo impahla uyaqoka ukudla uyadla akunamuntu othi makathi intwana yami ngiyifake intwana yami engilandelayo ecollege eRandburg ngumuntu ozolokho ebhadala but sengifakile ahead aboma 20 to 30,000 ngishapha angina stress ukuthi leyo nto ngizoyibhadala kanjani ngiyazi ukuthi next time mangibuya ngifake enye 20 lo muntu ngibhadala lento azoyenza before ayiqeda nginaleyo umqondo lo you understand and not ukuthi ngeke ngayibhadala manje but ukuhlala unemali it gives you a sense of power you understand. So thina sibelieve kanjalo you get the money you have the power and then everything else oyifunayo uyayithola. So nginale riding nginale out yami le spirit esinazo zene siyafurustana izinto zihamba grand akekho ne-agenda nomunye. This one time thiwa hayi man emfethu out city umuntu osoyasibiza le eVelcom kunento ehambayo ebusuku ihanjiswa i-truck labantu bayi2 kuphela masingavala leya truck funeka nje ama-reflector. I-reflector bulletproof those things are available ezamaphoyisa by the way you understand. Njengoba uhlala ubona kunemoto ezi-embellished ngama-stickers wamaphoyisa kutholakala ama-bulletproof namakepisi you understand. So seziyayenzeka lezi zinto kudecidwe ngale plan le plan ngithola ngisendlini. So kwenzakalani lapha yimi nalo muntu siyaphila grand mawangibhelela ntambama mfethu kunento kumele sihambe mara asina trans. Okay sharp akuna stress asina trans aku reverse trans hayi i-out yami yona le ngiyithembayo uzo drive hayi sharp akuna story sesihambile siyi3 phakathi kwekar. It's the 12th of March 2010 siya drive somewhere along the way sisaya ukuthi kwenzakaleni I will not tell you ngoba bengirelaxile so ngigcine ngibambe kanje ne hayi ngalalisa isithi ngathatha isandla ngasibeka na ngidlile ukuthi imoto iphenduke nini kanjani kwenzakaleni ini ngivuke on the tar road ngikwi-lap yale out yami isandla sami silimele ikhanda lami lilimele le out ibambe le skin usho ukuthi the way ngilalise ngakhona ibambe le skin kanje because yena kuye angazi bekacabanga ukuthi kwenzakalani because there's flow of blood everywhere. I understand. Le two yala ekarini lo driver nalo omunye osemuva abalimelanga awuthi yami yona lengibambile ihwayeke nje la. Lo semuva clean. Akakayenzeki next nesikakayi nokuya kuleyo ndawo leyo. Ngalimala kabuhlungu the side leli bengingakulo if umuntu angathi kumphuma umuntu ophilayo la bazothi unamanga. Laid on the side of the road but on a tar ku yellow line. I just like to believe akufikanga moto yamaphoyisa ufike a civilian, a white guy. He waited there until an ambulance came. Ama-out ukuthi aphelelepi after that angazi. Bekuneyibhamu phakathi kweHoover. Engibatshele ngilapha phana thathe khiphani lezi zinto manje kuzofika abantu at least niyozichafa esigangeni in. Uyabona into enjalo. Then they took out the guns from Mr. Hoover. And then yeah, I don't know where they went and hid those, but I spoke out of regaining my consciousness. I then was able to speak and see things. Then this one was busy. Hey, don't sleep. Look where I'm tap. I understand. But mina sharp. I don't see anything. The only thing I'm seeing is, hey, sir. Kawategi. Hey, sir. That's all I'm saying. I understand. Ambulance arrives. Ngena phakathi kwe-ambulance. Azi ke bazokugwaza ama-drip. Angazi bayakusedate or bazama calm pain, ama-antibiotic or whatever the case might be with those drips that they put in an ambulance. Bazamile to bandage whatever they can bandage. Now this ambulance occupant, paramedic, ubhizi ufiddlisha ne-necklace yami. Hey. In that state, ngithe wena futhenga ngibamba khona la. Ngipokela umuntu ngiphakathi kwe-ambulance. Lo muntu yazi uze wazokhipha i-drip. Yazi makayikhipha le drip. Uyenze so wayitomula. Le nxeba lahlala isikhathi eside before lizophola. Because bekafuna ukungithathela ichain. Ngiyabheka hawu lo muntu bekafuna ukungithathela. Plus ngiyamkhuza rough yabo. Hayi. Masifike esibhedlela mina i-conscious yami sharp, ngisharp. Sifike esibhedlela ngingeniswe Kronstadt Public Hospital. Kusasa bangitransfer Bloemfontein private ethi bona hayi ngeke bayihandle bangilethe ngapha kwilentoza kwiPilonomy baguthi ngokudila ngazinto zamathambo and other things. You understand? La eKronstadt by the way mabang admit ayibo abangithungile la. Leyo rough whatever. You understand? The stitching leyo. Emfowethu bangithungile sharp akuna stress ngaba sharp. Ngaye ePilonomy after this private yakhona mangawe ngiyayisebenzisa na ngaya kuyo ngafika ngalala kusasa ekseni phuma same time ngingena ngapha ePilonomy. Hayi sharp akuna story bayangisiza ke lapha yana bangitshela ukuthi hayi so ninino zoye theater ngiye theater ba before bang tranquilize they then observe me Dr. wami ukhuluma nami or that Dr. Lombard. I still remember the name. Dr. Lombard ukhuluma nami and then he asked me ukuthi yo manje in lento amputation ngithi no. It's not gonna work. Zama to spare whatever you can spare and construct something. If it's tips, my fingers asalayo because I can still move fingers. What's the need for amputation? You understand? I sharp vele sengisayinile ne consent form le barriers yenze le yanto ngiyibukele kanje. Yasika whatever isika yahlanganisa yenza. Hence you can see ukuthi kune flesh ebelonga underneath engapha ngaphezulu. You understand? Yasika le kwazi ukukusika yahlanganisa at least the thumb was spared. Yahlanganisa yastitcha. Stayed a few days. After maybe 2 days I went for a skin graft. Skin graft basusa inyama from la ethine. That's where I chose for them to take. Avoid indaba yokusika i-AIDS, yabo.
Awufuna ukuhamba nge-AIDS.
Kusika ngama-AIDS apetshiwe manje, hey man, I understand mfethu. Already mina nginama-stitch we-operation nama-bullet wounds. Hey ngapha senginale wonke into yami nje. I understand. You can easily say lo muntu is scrap. But one thing I'm thankful for, uyabona i-sight is underestimated. Vision, you being able to see, it's underestimated. Well, sight informs the mind. I don't know if people have thought about it in that sense. So, ngale ngakhala, hayi ngeke ngaphuka izinyo. Le moto ingikwazile enxebeni leli like ladubuleka. Yayi insimbi yangena lana, like ama injuries wakhona nje complicated. You understand? Mangizibheka ikhanda sengilimele ebusweni, ezandleni, enyawo, akunaphathi engalimalanga. Umuntu is-scrap. Mara no, I can't afford to say that. No, into engikhalisayo ukuthi senginama injuries amaningi. You understand? But at that point in time, into engikhuthaza ukuthi I've got a sight. I've got a brain. So these two, they work together nicely. I think I'll still function left hand in none. I have to learn to write ngale sandla lesi.
Right-handed?
Yeah, I mean I'm right-handed. But manje ngibhala ngazo ziyi-two. I think for every loss in a literal sense there's gain. So manje I was equipped ukuthi ngikwazi ukubhala ngezandla eziyi-two. Though I lost part of my fingers, I'm scarred. So motivation, religion, at those moments, the sadness, at the moment of calamity, they kick in. You understand? You get to pray. You get to think about the things that could give you strength. Isn't just like encourage ngoba manje so ubonakala ngathi awusase next. From glory to glory. I understand that aspect. And funny enough, when I'm saying this, a day before, ngisekareni ngihlele emuva siya somewhere so yenza udoti. A day before ngizothola le accident. Ngithe outing ngihlele emuva abahleli phambili. Ngithi uyabona mina, as long as I've still got my hands. Hayi baba. Angeke ngilambe ngisazobabamba. Yimloyo. I understand. I'm looking at me. I have my hands. Now looking at that scenario, singing up where the tips of my fingers are lost and healing and beyond and now, mangicabanga ngisedanyanini ngithi yazi one day ngeke ngathi so the next day kwayenzakala so. I think that was chastisement. Yabona? From uNkulunkulu. I believe so much in God to a point of no one can convince me otherwise. In the biblical context. The very hand that I had said, because mawuthi kulezi ezami izandla, you actually don't normally use your hands actively the same way. You understand? And at that time, bongathi nywe manje ufuna ukuthini ngila ngifuna ukuprove a point. Aroundini first man on the block. And ngizitshela ukuthi vele yimi but one thing it taught me emva kwendaba sengisejele. Because ijele liyasiza ngokunika isikhathi sokucabanga mawufuna ukucabanga. Sengithi yazi la uNkulunkulu was chastising me. Now sengikala ngalezi zinto zonke manje ngiyazi aligna manje ngaqala icrime ngithi so ngenza so. And one day I did a prayer. Ngithi before ngizoyenza lezi zinto ezinkulu ngathi mara mina uNkulunkulu mangathola into engayenza uma 700 and something thousand. ngayiyeka icrime unganginika leya ngeke ngiphinde ngakukhonza ngaye. Like I'm narrating it now, someone might shun this as buffoonery, but this is a prayer I made some time ago, but I recalled it amongst a prison. Man, the prayer, and I've got this amount twice. Ngathola 728. Ngazothola ngathola le 780. So ngathola na that amount engakwazi ukuyicounta yama-China eyama-200 kuphela. Mhlambe yayidlula lezi zinto zonke lezi because besispenda besihamba zonke izinto, i-game reserve, i-lodge, i-hotel, whatever you name it. Melrose mangene Tiger of Sweden bese bangazi because I really loved that brand or liked that brand. Mangingena noma kuyiphi outlet mangifuna something, mangise restaurant mangafila ngathi lokudla kuyangibhora ngichange menu manje. So after lama injuries ngikhawatekile ngisesibhedlela kuyisola vele does kick in. If a man doesn't sorrow and feel sorry, you are not down. You feel sorry because you are considerate of what is happening around you. But if a man doesn't actually feel sorry, he's a man who hasn't touched the ground with the biggest of them falls. Like you fall and hit hard at the ground, then you'll feel sorry. But if you haven't fallen, you will never feel sorry. But let me take you to the scenario masenzo arrest. So I stay from the 12th. I'm in hospital. I force ukuthi ngiphume on the 25th of the very same month. As severe as my injuries were, like I make noise for the doctor. The doctor had no choice, but I had to go. Funa ukuphuma. And I'm thinking of things that I've done. Abo bantu ba arrestiwe. It could be sebakhulumile ngilana. You know this crazy stuff that we do. Akunamuntu oke wazofika wazongibona esibhedlela, including my grandma. My grandmother came from Joburg to Kroonstad. I told her, mawungise Bloemfontein, don't come. My grandmother has went through thick and thin. No matter how much when we were growing up, things didn't happen the way how I wish they would have. But my grandmother has gone through thick and thin for me now. When you speak of that lady, you're speaking of a pillar for me. It doesn't matter what anyone says. That was my pillar of strength. Today, if bekangabhodang, ngabe sengefer ngelieve without ukang. But I'll get to that. So, from the 12th to the 25th of the same month, March 2010, 2015 ngiyaphuma ngifosile le discharge udoctor yasayina ngilanda amaphilisi ekhemesi, antibiotic and painkillers, the strongest they have in Bloemfontein. Then I'm out. I'm telling myself I'm gonna recuperate at home or from home. This hospital stay is just another thing. Engenza futhi ngifeel like I'm jailed. You understand? So having experienced the jail thing, being incarcerated, and you know the imprisonment vibes, staying on bed and then eating at an allocated time,
Restricted movement.
you know those things. And then I'm like, no, I want to get out. Jump out of the bed. A day after the graft, skin graft, ask people who have went through that thing. They will tell you skin graft is not a child's play. A limp like a limp that a toddler's footsteps would be faster than it. It's what you see. Umuntu magayenza skin graft. You can't move any faster. But I jumped out of the bed, went to la ngiyakhona, lifting this leg, my gazi floor, so I screamed. It was the first time ngihlike embedeni with this. Kumele ngiye lapha ngiyofosta lento ngeyi-24 ngeyi-25 ekuseni ngikhuluma nodoctor, udoctor azasayina amaphepha athi you are an adult. Ngiphume ngivaya. Mangivaya ngifonela enye out bekuyi-family friend bathi Augustine. Seyishadile seyihlala eMabloemfontein bekuyimpintshi yethu mina neGrootman yami lebholile. You understand? Ngamfonela mfethu kuphi ngama number ye-Old Lam. Magris. Augustine hayi ukhona lapha eBloemfontein. Okay sharp ithi ngimfonela yamfonela. Augustine uyazi uyangilanda. Makangilanda ngiyamtshela ungangidropi la kunomunye umuntu engimaziyo la eIvory Park. Awungidrope kwakhe. Angikule yansayisa le ngihlala naye endlini. Ngiya kulo muntu bangidropa kuye. Mawufika bangidropa kuye comfort esofeni yonke into ngiphatha kahle umuntu omdala onga-understand iy'nkinga uzo understand ukuthi umuntu uneswa kanjani. You understand that lapha yana ngiphethe kid lapha. She would not, like I was suspecting she wouldn't even attend to me in a way which I need to be attended to. Igriza Lam, I can't put her in such things. When someone has been through a lot with you, now you putting them through a pain of them looking at you being an unable, not a disabled, but an unable person to do what you would do for yourself. It's torture for them. Igriza lami ukhumbule lingazi the way ngizazi ngakhona. Even sometimes not the way mina ngingazi ngakhona. Yena uyangazi. So when she would look at me, I would see from her face what she was saying. Ish. I social arm and le social arm yo kwasha kwacima ini nani. Because I could see abantu bakudala, they can't even pretend when they are sympathizing and empathizing. They can't pretend. You see it in their speech, you see it in their countenance. It's vivid. Yeah, I understand. So here's the thing. I am out at this place for one day. I call my friend. I ask them, where's my car? They put my car into there's a towing company who told them they don't know where it is, but it is around Kronstadt. Apparently they lost the card, the business card for where my car was towed to. Agnandaba. Can you go there and tell so and so to bring me a car? They will find me at the rank. It's fine. Iyayenzeka leyo nto leyo. Sengine chauffeur vele intwananyana enginekhawashi nginama-khawashi ayi-2 ngale ngakimi kunentwananyana zami lapho. Ngiyayidonsa le mfethu sozongidrive every day, every morning. Mangikufonela na imoto ihlalise kuwo. Uyangidrive. I get a call. Hey, awuthiyami uphumile from my friend, my best friend, not my best friend at the time. Uphumile lapha yana ubuyile ngibuyile mfethu manje ikara yami kanti nenzeni? Bani uyoyithathela abantu? Ungasa explain manje kuhambani? And the guy tells me, hi, there is a job. We're actually going to the Free State, but tomorrow evening. So where are you? No, I went to Ivory. You can come. Then he comes. Then he finds me in Ivory. He has no food in his hand. He has no money. He has nothing to say. Umuntu obuya esibhedlela, you can bring them flowers. You know, that type of thing. Nothing. Just comes in, knocks at the door. How are you? We're fine. Are you good? I'm good. Okay, so what's happening? Nah, nothing is going on. You see, my man, I'm injured, but I can limp, but I limp very slow. You know you're a soldier, just drink those pills, just take 9 of those pills. You know you can put your foot down and everything like that. So tomorrow you are going with us. Yeah, I am going. That's me. Come tomorrow we go to do the things. And then he's the one saying, stay in the car. Just make sure if you can't stand up to that security, just tell me now. Because the only thing you got to do is to point a firearm at him. Okay, sharp. Masifika siyaphuma ecrimeini nelimp yami slow, very slow limp. Ngibamba umantshingelana. Remember when you're in hospital and you've lost blood and then you're eating the hospital food, you become thinner. And it shows in your countenance that this one is not, it's either you are frail or fragile or you are pale, whatever the case might be. But it shows that you are not well. I understand. So, le bari ngayikhomba ngegani angazi beyicabangani ngoba ngitshele slow and easy because even the speech kuba ne-speech impediment lapho because you can't really express yourself as the whole you understand? I'm like, hey ndoda unganyakazi wanyakazi uzongibhora blind. Hayi unganyakazi uzokudubula. And I can't cock a gun, I got a flywheel. Just lift the hammer up. Nganyakazi angifuni longijimisana nazo zokudubula ikhanda.
And it's your weak hand in that time.
The weakest hand, because I've never actually used this hand. The only hand that knows how to do things is this one. But I'm using this one now and I'm pointing a firearm at a whole complete trained security guard. But because firearm has power to instill fear, the guy has succumbed to the pointing. Now, I'm pointing this object, but my thoughts are very far. If that guy wanted to take that thing, he would have taken it anyway. The guys are coming out. They are in a rush. But I limp slowly to the car. Hey, let's go. That guy is saying, hey, I'm driving. My shoes can't run. Stop. Then get inside the car. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Hey, just move, man. Up at the corner, you must go at the back. This guy must come at the front. You know, that type of a thing. So we drive maybe a few corners away after the robbery. Then I move from the back seat, come back to the front seat so that I can be able to stretch my leg and actually lean my hand on top of my thigh, you know, just to get that relaxed. And they must drive carefully. Yeah, so hey, drive. Hey, these other guys. Hey, drive these two guys. Drive. This guy, nah. We've long gone away from the scene. Shut up. Flowing. They get into this suburb where we used to park these cars that are stolen. We change into another car, we get out. This one is much spacious because it's an SUV. And I sit in front, I relax. And it's comfort. And I get my card. Though it was little money, but I get my card. Tomorrow, around 11 in the morning. I'm counting these days literally because I spent 11 days outside of the hospital. I spent 10 days involved in doing criminal activities, actually committing robberies. Like what I'm saying now, me narrating the story, it doesn't actually bring out the clear picture in vividness of how my condition was at the time. I was like severely injured, in excruciating pain, not just pain. This was like I'm getting migraines. There are bottles stitching the stitches. It's swollen. My hand would go this deep like that. La. Mingwamba so because this part was like that. I would go deeper like that and hold this other side. I'm doing all these things, bandage on the head, ngifaka isigqoko, your cap on, your other bucket hats and stuff, you know, that type of thing. I put in a cloth here, or I just hide it with whatever I'm wearing. I hide my, and I go and do these activities. All these other activities that you can think of. House arrest, we did it. House arrest or house robbery, for the sake of better comprehension. We did it. Business robbery, that was the first crime I did. Kwathatha tin outletini yeimpahla, I was there inside the scene of crime. Ngiyalimpa lento le ayipholi faster to a point ukuthi even when I was arrested after 11 days from the hospital at a crime scene, I can't run, I just paced. Let me paint you this picture. There was what's that? This cash in transit money vans dropping off money, but this was in bank bags, dropping it at the post office. And the post office had money anyway because all the white communities of that place, they get their money from that post office. And it was the holidays, if you could remember, because it was on the 6th of April when I was arrested. Now, what happens? Masingena, the post office is actually inside a store, a supermarket. You understand? So now, there's crowds, like people. Some are queuing at the post office, some are shopping on the other side. These have to be controlled. And you have to go to the post office where the actual crime is supposed to take place. Akunanto ithole yonke into ma out ayithole ivuliwe, sithola ivulekile. Ibhodo elingaka laseposini elincane elingale emuva, imali le baqeda ukuyidropa laba siyithole lapho. Now mind you, on the morning of that very same day, there were activities that we did. About 4 or about 3. In fact, 2, the third one, sathola ukuthi kunabanye abantu siyabazi igebengu laba bayampimpa nalaba bazosibhayizisa. You understand? I know a whole lot of people don't narrate these scenes like that, but sathola kunabanye abantu saphuma sashifta. Le crime engiboshwa ku, it was a by the way, because we knew we had something like this, but we have spared it for some other time. That now we'll attend to this at a later stage or whenever the time permits, but when we have planned around it. But on that day, it became a thought that actually sparked to say, no, there's this thing. You remember? Yeah, I remember. What's the date today? It's Tuesday. So means, plus a long weekend. Yes, there's money there. Let's go and check. When we check, simultaneously, when we enter the parking lot, the guys who are coming to dropping in money, they're going inside. When they come out, we enter. Hence, I tell you, it's very rare for people who are robbers, cash in transit or whatever, to actually plan. Like you see a plan on TV or in the movies where you say, yeah, this here, this there, yeah, you guys are. We tell you when you say off rampini, niaploma latina sopum. We speak, we don't write anything down. Those who say they write things down, I don't know. But most of us, we don't write things down. A great majority of us, we just speak because we think we know this, we've done this before. You understand? So, hiti labaya kuyabanjwa kuchwetshwa nalabantu abalana ini nani. Lo muntu omemnyango ongalimelanga by the way. Athi nangu uGhada, akathi aboGhada, uthi nangu uGhada. Kanti these people have already pressed the panic button laba base next door. Babona kanjani I juxtapositioning yalama shop. A bottle store is juxtaposed to the supermarket, which is also juxtaposed post office. Now, from the bottle store, there's a glass that allows them to see through the supermarket. So those press the panic, Ngape supermarket press the panic, the post office press the panic. When ubona even one already la emakhoneni kuyafika. Masithi siyaphuma kuphume mina kuqala and mina bengile move but yimi engize ngazofika la. Lo aloka angazi uyaphenika ungena ngaphakathi ushubile majidi. You know that type of a thing. Eish mangifika la eminyango ethi mfethu ithi ngiye kulo Ghada ngikhuluma nalo. Ithi ngiye kulo Ghada ngikhipha igani. Because no one wants to be. You understand? Ithi ngiye kulo Ghada. Mangiya kuye wena uzongisearcha lo muntu. Makangisearcha wena uyaphuma uyamhlaba. Ngoba uGhada uma akakhomba ngegani uyakuturn around. Makakusearcha igani uyazi ukuthi ibuyele efikeni. Unless kuGhada ovelt ngeke akusearche ngezandla ezithu uzokushaya ngerap search esandla esiyi1 igana libela ibambile. Omunye uyibambela kwiholes la angazange ayikhiphe. So it's pretty obvious ukuthi he won't be actually looking at who is coming out, who's coming in, or be able to draw out a gun when you are already pointing a firearm at him. That's our escape measure lapho. What I'm thinking about. This guy, when this one calls me to search me, this guy gets out running. Ngizwe nge-siren ukuthi uyachase. Ukuthi usinde kanjani is the only guy, eh? Yeah, is the only guy who survived. When these other ones, 3 inside, the one coming out first, a bullet from nowhere. I don't know if this car, it's a private car. They've long been there after the panic, waiting for people who are going to come out. Nami nje by luck, azange ngiphume ngibrandisha gun in the air. Otherwise, had I gone out brandishing a gun in my hand, I would have gotten shot. This guy, the Zimbabwean guy, he gets shot. I think twice or thrice or 4 times in the chest. He falls, drops to the floor. Money splits, flies everywhere. The second guy comes out, he gets shot in the leg. Gani yakhleya, imali yakhleya. The third guy comes out running with a shot. They miss him because they can't shoot on the side that he's approaching. Because it's not a wall, it's glasses, and it might penetrate to hit somebody else behind the glasses. He takes the corner and tries to run, but these people were planted everywhere around the vicinity of the shopping complex. And because they thought it's something big, the chopper was already in the air. You understand? And there was this Fidelity who came to draw the whatever G4S or whatever guys who dropped off that money there. Then we are arrested. Links. After we are arrested, and listen, they scatter us because they arrest, one dies, one gets shot in the leg, gets to hospital, one is inside the van. Mina, I'm not arrested, I'm standing with the crowds. But I can't run. I'm watching. I just can't run. My crowds lawa bukela observayo. People who are doing things. You know how many police guys who said, I know this guy, abangaziyo basevelcom. And I know his friend is this one, Bakomba Lotubuleki Nyao. About 4 or 5 guys. And they called the people in the store. Was this one in here? They said no. They asked that guy who arrested before the court at the scene of crime, what does this one do here? He said, no, I just said to him. Did you find anything? No.
Isesiphi isibhamu?
Isibhamu ngishiye ngisaphuma singaphakathi. Strobhile. You understand? Ngaphumela ngaphandle. Nga-approacha lo sengithipa lo. Manje sekumele explain imedula phela kusaspan ikrach. Ngeke uspan. You entrance i-1. Ningafana i-9. Umuntu ayi-1. Manje ngayasho ukuzenza ngathi niyani. Ngitshelile ngathi abantu babuye e-skid bar. Akunasigebengu esibuye e-skid bar except for a few exceptions. Your Collins and the others who maybe were formerly cops or formerly soldiers and stuff like that. You understand? So these ones, they come from Mesquite Babadubula. They don't play games. They don't play house. They shoot. Alel. Then comes this guy. Opetikala. In fact, akaphathanga cala. Wazi ukuthi nginecala level com. Yakhumbula ngithe kwesaboshe guest house lokho si-attend. Alikakapheli lelo cala. Athi hayi mthoke amtsiba man uvalid man why. Arimunge for questioning. And then they took me in for questioning. Until today I'm a parolee. Only got in for questioning. I understand. The law in South Africa is flawed. But I'm not saying it's right to do crime, but the law is flawed. Now, fast forward into the cells. The other one is at the hospital. The other one is dead at the morgue or mortuary, if you like. Omunye is in another holding cell, and I'm in another holding cell. When I get inside the cell, the setup here cell, there's an inner part, and then there's a courtyard. And then keep evidence. Ukuthi mina ngiye clinic, ngiyodress up manxeba. Na amaphilisi wami. Mina ngibona ngilimele. Ngibandaged. Yonke into ikhona uyabona ukuthi vele lo muntu lento ayishoyo i-right angeke ayenze i-crime. You understand? So, as to how did they come to a conclusion that I did a crime when I'm bandaged and I'm injured and I'm limping and I can't be holding a gun, because this, I'm telling you, it got to a point where those guys called me to the church office and called a station commander. And the guy said, no. Let those guys from the murder and robbery squad come. When they come, they say, that guy says you are with them. Kunosesibhedlela naye usho kanjalo, mabasho bona, as they can play games. Nalo ngale bathi usho kanjalo. So bamangalelo ku captain kuthi no, bathu bale bamu confess muthu. Mara the victim liyamkhana. You understand the way I'm standing with these people. Then we attend. I got charged after a day, by the way, because the only time when it expires for you not to get charged is after 48 hours. I don't know if that's applicable, but I don't think it is in South Africa, because they charge people even after 72 hours. There are people who get charged after a year. A police station. Yeah. There's a guy I know who stayed a year. They faked indaba yokuthi bayamcharge when they couldn't charge him. They charged him that day. Makafike court umangala makafike court bathi uboshwe izolo. A police station. Makafike court spend a year. Ahlale police station, atrial police station bangamisi indawo. Bangakwazi ukumenzela last brief. Ene khona ngada. Kulawo mavelo komo khona. This is a known story to every criminal owaziyo ukuthi or who the former criminals or whoever, those people were involved in those activities. We all know that story. Bamthatha after 1 year bafika bathi uboshwe izolo. Kanti bakhuluma kanje umagistrate sekabambe le story la elokishini ngoba is a small town. Magistrate wathi hayi hamba free bail ubuye kusasa, mafika kusasa wathi drop case. Withdraws everything. Now when I get into the police station, mabe ngibuyisele a holding cell. The first thing that came into mind was prayer. Nothing else. I didn't think of my children. I didn't think of my grandmother. I didn't think of nobody. All I was thinking about was prayer. Then I kneeled down. I don't care who's watching, who's looking, but the police cell, the holding cells at the police station, they're divided into two segments. One is a courtyard. The other one is the inner room where you get to sleep. I'm kneeling in the courtyard. Wherever, when they turned that key and it made noise in my brains, I kneeled down. This prayer that is answered today, yokuthi ngingayenzi crime, and promise God that once you take me out of this, I won't do crime. It was answered 12 years later, and I'm not doing crime, but it's a prayer I prayed a day after I got arrested, on the 7th. No, on the 6th, on the very same day, when I was put into the holding cells. I kneeled down. Mighty God, if you take me out of this, I'll never do crime again. Please, you can see my state. I never prayed a long prayer. I just promised God that. And then I said, in the name of Jesus Christ, and then amen.